right, let's get started. We're down to 25 minutes.
Action. You get a choice to kill. Hi, babe. Yes. Hi, Mom. Answer to kill him. Hey, Mom. Save him. He's gonna kill everybody.
Sit down, Martin.
Stand up, friends.
No, they shoot him in the eye. They shoot him in the eye. He's still alive. He has a black eye.
Jesus, hush up.
Keep punching. Where's the camera?
Yo, what's up?
So today we're going to read a book about Vietnam. So this book will be about a little history of the Vietnam culture. So I put together a PowerPoint.
Jesus, hush.
So the Vietnamese culture, that is, if you look at the map, that's Vietnam. And in Vietnam, there's north, south, and in between, Midwest. So mainly what happened in the Vietnam War was the people of north. Oh.
Awesome.
Oh, I saw Ted.
The people up north conquered the one in the south in 1975 through a war. And so now the flag that we see now, when you look in textbook, you see a red flag with a star in the middle. So that's the communist flag. The communists took over our country. And that's why my parents migrated to America through airplane. Some people also use boat. Yeah, it takes longer. And you also get attacked by pirates and things like that. And also in the Vietnamese culture, it's really unique. You speak in 3 different languages. There's 3 different dialects. People in the north,
Yes.
in the south, and in between, they all speak a different dialect. So sometimes some people who speak Vietnamese to me here, I don't understand them. It's a different dialect. So. And also, there's a lot of food that we eat. Some of the main dishes that we eat, which is for the American culture, is bread. But for Asian people, Vietnamese people, we eat rice and noodle. And our main thing that we put on there is fish sauce. That's what we put on there.
Fish sauce?
Mm-hmm. This is a big holiday in the Vietnamese culture. We share it with the Chinese people. It's our New Year. We follow the lunar calendar, so it's usually close to February. And what's great about that is you get to get free money in a lucky bag. So you would go to your parents and you say, I wish you can have a happy new year, and you wish them healthy, happy, lucky, and you get free money. This is what we eat on New Year's. It's called bang tét. It has rice and pork in it.
Is it good?
It's very good. Yeah. And this is a dragon. And every year we follow the zodiac calendar. You learn about the astrology in library. In the Asian and Chinese, we follow the zodiac calendar. And every year there's a different animal. Like this is the year of the dragon. I was born in the year of the tiger. So like that, like you go and just wish your grandparents a Happy New Year. And this is another great festival we have. It's the Moon Festival. The Moon Festival is a great feast. The story is there's an old man, and he people didn't like him that much. They didn't. He was probably the one that was left behind. And he was sitting there sad, and then a fairy came from the moon and saying, "Would you like to go to the moon with me?" And the next thing you know, he got to go to the moon. And so every year the children carry a lantern around the moon, hoping the fairy would come down and give them a chance to go to the moon. So that's a children festival that we celebrate in the Vietnamese culture. And then our big war, which I've told you, the communists conquer our land. So, and you can see a little photos of it. And you probably can understand the language behind it is Vietnamese. So a group of Vietnamese people trying to escape the communism in Vietnam. It's a struggle. My mom was lucky because my uncle worked for the airline, so she got to escape by airplane. But if you go by boat, you're attacked by pirates. It's a long journey from Vietnam all the way to the U.S.
Quê hương dù đẹp nhằn, đất mẹ dù đau khổ, vẫn không ai muốn dứt tình ra đi. Như con chim không muốn xa tổ, như con gà không muốn lìa cảnh. Nhưng lý tưởng tự do như một ngọn đuốc trong đêm tối đã lôi cuốn hàng lớp lớp người lệ từ dã man. Dù biết bao nhiêu chông gai có thể đang chờ đợi phía trước, và tương lai là một màn đêm mịt mù. Nhưng đi đâu, ở đâu, thì hình ảnh quê nhà vẫn luôn sống mãi trong tim từng người Việt tha hương.
This will always be imprinted in my heart. Even though I was not born then, in 1975, I was born later on. But this impacts me because I was born in America, but my parents were born in Vietnam. Little clip from that. And so, how do I get back to PowerPoint?
You're probably going to have to start reading your book if you're going to have time.
Well, I'll start reading my book. Alright, so anyway, this book has a lot of vocabulary. We'll look at the vocabulary in the end. We'll start with the book. So this book is called Vietnamese American. By Anne Frederick. Escaping a country of war. So, as talk to your group, amongst your group, how do people escape from the communism to come to America? So talk amongst your group. All right. So, Jesus, what is your group? All right, everybody listen to Jesus. So how do you escape from Vietnam to get to America?
By the airline so you can go to an airplane.
Airplane?
Or on the boat.
Wonderful. Okay. All right, your group. So which one is easier, on the boat or the airplane? What is airplane?
Because if it's just a boat,
All right, Cecilia, your group. Why is it challenged on the boat? Why is it difficult?
Because prior to tackle.
All right. Does your group have anything else to add to this?
we had the same thing.
Okay. All right. The American people represents people from all countries around the world. Many Americans have ancestors, family members from past generations who arrived in the United States hundreds of years ago. And many of those ancestors came 100 years ago. Some Americans have not been to America that long. Americans from Vietnamese family are among the group who recently arrived in America. Most Vietnamese Americans have come here since the 1970s. They came from a country destroyed by war. At that time, Vietnam was divided into two countries. One country was known as North Vietnam, the other was South Vietnam. They grew even more worried and afraid when many Vietnamese wanted to move to a different country. But the communism government would not let them leave. People started to make their own plan to escape from Vietnam by boat or by airplane. All right, so another question you can discuss amongst your group. When people from my country, from Vietnam, come to America, how did they find a home? So talk amongst yourselves. Just be creative too.
They probably built it. What do you by the ocean, by the pleasure? What do you like the fish or something? Or they as somebody kids.
Can you believe that little camera?
No, I don't want to.
Remember one
I'm not
thing.
gonna touch anything.
They had no money,
I don't want to mess it up.
So use that. Put that in your discussion. All right, Cecilia's group. What do your group think?
If they didn't have no money, they probably would try to find something on the ground or in the water while they were selling.
Okay. Isaiah group.
Read that they probably lived with their Americans or built their own homes or they probably lived in their boat.
Okay.
What?
Your group,
They
Jonathan.
might have some family members here.
That's what I was gonna say. Probably gonna have
Family members or friends.
Okay. All right, Desa's group. What do your group think? Huh? All right, Esteban's group. What does your group think?
Make their own houses.
They're gonna build their own houses? Okay.
With one money.
You have some, can you add to that, Gabby? No? All right, let's see. So the truth is, my family became an immigrants. So the correct answer was closest to Isaiah group. There was people in America, different organizations, help my mom, my grandmother, my parents found houses. But first of all, they lived together in the same house, and then sooner or later, they finally found a house. But it was a struggle, because my people didn't even know English, so it was a long struggle. So those people who helped my family or called sponsors. So these are pictures of that, of how they first came to America. This is a couple that first came to America. Sooner or later, though, the Vietnamese people strive for success, and they built like even supermarkets. So like I was born in California, there was a lot of Vietnamese community in Orange County. So if you look at Orange County, there's a big population of Vietnamese people. There's grocery stores and things like that. But that's amazing. They didn't speak English. They had struggled with English, but they worked hard, and they went to college and found success. So when we went to America, we quickly adapt to different religions, and we also there's Buddhism, Catholicism, Christianity, different groups of religion as well. So one of the big holidays that we celebrate is that. The most important Vietnamese holiday of the year is called Dec. This is the Vietnamese New Year. It takes place in February and is celebrated for 3 days with many major celebrations. That begin with fireworks on the evening. Family has special celebration in their home. This is a time to be with friends and relatives. That is also a colorful celebration. People dress in bright red color during the 3 days. They serve brightly colored food. One special food that they serve is called bánh tét. You remember I saw you pictures?
Yeah.
That's bánh tét. All right, so talks amongst yourselves again. How did the Vietnamese people adapt to the American culture? So talks amongst your group.
They work hard. They work very hard.
Yeah, talk some.
Hi, Mom.
Cut it out. Or I'll have a talk with your mother tonight after school.
Hey, Angel, go to Jacelia's group. Angel, go to.
I got 2 sides. Can it be us?
You say that.
Okay.
All right, Martin's group. What do you think?
They went to college and learned how to do stuff, and then they opened businesses.
How did the Vietnamese people adapt to the American culture? All right, Cecilia's group.
How, like they first started out struggling, and then they built markets, and then they went to college and stuff.
All right, let's see what they say. Many organizations and groups have been formed by Vietnamese Americans. These groups assist people of the Vietnamese culture to find success, to continue their culture. So it's many different organizations that help them keep their cultural values alive. And they adapt to different sports. Like you see this guy playing baseball. Mostly in the Vietnamese culture, the main sport that we play is soccer.
Oh yeah.
But they adapt to the other sports as well, like baseball and football. We don't really have those in our country. Also reading. See how reading is important? Reading a lot of books, build up that strong foundation of the English language. And finally, some of the things that we brought to America is the Vietnamese food. So if you eat anything with fish sauce, it becomes Vietnamese food. Really easy.
Hey, the sushi counts?
That's more Tokyo.
Chinese.
Oh, okay.
Japanese.
Vocabulary words in this book.
It's hot in here. When this is over, we'll turn the fans on.
All right, the first word we have is communism. And all right, so communism is a communist country follow the beliefs of communism, a political system in which the government owns everything. So that's different from we live in what kind of government we live in?
Congress.
Democracy.
A republic.
The people have more say. If you don't agree with the government, you say, I don't agree with you, Mr. President, and you can make that decision. But if you speak up against your government in my country, you get put to prison. So.
I would do that to you. You can't do that to me.
The next word we have is refugee.
Sit down.
So refugees are people who are forced to leave their home because of war, persecution, or a natural disaster. So like my parents were refugees. They have to leave their country to come to America. They were forced to, because if they stayed, most likely they could have been put to prison or died. So. And then sponsor. These are generous men and women who have helped my people adapt to the American culture. They're the people who give us money and different food and other supports to keep us alive. I wouldn't be here if these sponsors didn't help my parents. Because if my parents didn't have food or money, they couldn't start a family, and I wouldn't be here. So thank you to those sponsors. Discrimination. Like when I first came to school, people like to call me Chinese boy. They would tease me because I was different. You should never do that in your life. No matter whatever person you see, always treat them with respect and call them by their name. That's why I always try to call you all by your name. Because Domenico. But I'm saying it's very important. Our country, we respect our teacher a lot. We always call them out of respectful. We never say you or anything. So it's actually disrespectful if I call you. The last word was that's the word for New Year. So we celebrate it every year. So altogether, what did you learn from this book, and how can you relate this story to your life? Talk amongst your group. All right, Isaiah group. What did your
So you're not going to get to
What did you learn from this whole lesson? All right, friends, quiet down. I'm going to go to each one of you and ask you what you learned from this lesson.
We learned Vietnam was a war.
Because of the communism.
Not really.
Actually, look at the camera when you're saying. What did you learn? What did you
It was a
learn?
horrible place.
What did you learn, Jesus?
It's just like Mexico.
It's not just like Mexico because you don't have communists there.
I do,
What do you have to say? What did you learn from this lesson?
The cops.
All right, friends, come down. Everybody focus on Iguano. No. What do you want to say? What did you learn from this this lesson? Quiet down, friend. Quiet down. All right. What was our country overcome by? How can you relate this story to your life? All right, I'll come back to you. All right.
Okay, let's choose one more person because we've got to stop.
All right. So. All right, Jonathan. Look at the camera and say what you learned in the story.
I learned about about the Vietnamese and what happened.
How can you relate the story to your life?
Because my mom's an immigrant.
Martin, sit down.
My mom's an immigrant.
So you had a struggle to came to America too? Yeah. So thank you everybody. Take care. From Emmy Pearson, good night.
How do you finish that? I'm gonna wait till quiet.
Well, he's talking to Miss Jones. Vietnam War,